So, like I said, 10 times now? Mario is a series that is very important to me. The first game I ever played was New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and that was the reason I became so interested in the history of video games. And with Death Battle being my favorite show, I thought it would make sense to rank every episode featuring a Mario character. Except for the DBXs. Those will have to wait for another day. I might do this for other series I like, but Mario has the highest admiration for me that any series has ever besides Death Battle itself. The series helped me through my hardest times and made the bright times even better. Mario and so many other characters in the series are some of my most favorite characters of all time. So, do I think the series has a good track record on the show? Well, let's find out. And also, I'll be including Donkey Kong vs. Knuckles. It's technically a separate series, but you forgot one detail. I don't care.
Luigi could be next to you, watching you, right now.
Oh my god, if you know me on the subreddit, you are definitely aware of how much I despise this episode. Luigi is my all-time most favorite character ever, and this episode disrespected him so much. Not only do they make it so that when every time Luigi gets a hit in, it barely phases Tails, but when Tails gets a hit in, Luigi is always sent face first flying into the ground, but they said in the post-analysis that Luigi couldn't lift a radish while Tails can lift 10 tons, despite Tails not even lifting those 10 tons, and Luigi's feat taking place inside of a dream. Luigi only felt like he got one good hit in the entire animation, and that death just makes me sad with how anticlimactic and stupid it is. Tails doesn't even show any signs of being like he's just been in a fight, but Luigi is dizzy and acts like a freaking idiot the whole time because fuck him, am I right? This literally just takes the trope of just treating Luigi like a goddamn joke. It just feels like they're bullying him the entire animation. If we're just looking off the actual episode, it's fine. The analyses are okay, the invisible joke made me laugh, and the animation is pretty well done, and it is pretty cool to see their abilities clash off one another. But this is my personal least favorite episode of the entire show. There are definitely way worse episodes, but that's besides the point. Hate is a pretty strong word to use for this episode, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm still on the rocks if I want to use it or not. I hope Luigi can come back soon and get the respect he deserves. If Biff Weed can get good representation for his favorite character, then I hope I can too someday.
Have you seen a turtle pig?
God, this is basically just the exact same situation as the last. It completely did Bowser dirty. Bowser at least felt like he stood a slightly better chance against Ganon in the animation than Luigi did to Tails, but not by a lot. Bowser is another one of my most favorite characters ever, and it sucks that some of my most favorite characters of all time who helped shape who I am today are so disrespected in the show. The animation is fine, the analyses are fine. Death Battle, please make Bowser vs. Eggman soon, I'm begging you.
No, my car!
This one is just surreal. Out of all the series combinations this channel has done, I think Super Mario and Killer Instinct has to be the most absurd. The episode itself is okay. Yoshi gets bodied the entire fight despite being the winner. The death is kinda funny, and the analyses are fine. Don't really have a lot on this one.
Don't ask.
This was the first ever gag episode they ever did, and I gotta say, I think they did a fine job. It's obviously aged horribly, pretty much every Season 1 episode has. The analyses are pretty funny overall, and the animation is pretty fun. I love the intensity of the shot where they're avoiding the cannons, and the fight just feels like it has a good sense of pacing and humor. The fight ending with a draw is kinda lame, but what can you do?
Number 1.
Here we have the OG Mario vs. Sonic, and I gotta say, it's held up quite a bit. This is one of the few Season 1 episodes to actually have voice acting, but only for Sonic. It's not as good as his later performances, but it's still pretty solid. The episode has a good sense of feel portraying Sonic's speed and Mario's better strength and abilities. I love how their powers bounce off each other, and the episode has some standout moments, like the chase near the end and the delayed Bob-omb explosion. The slow-mo bit near the start kinda feels out of place, kinda messes with the pacing, but it doesn't really bother me too much. It's still a Season 1 episode, meaning it does show its age quite a bit, but it doesn't hinder my enjoyment too much. The death kinda traumatized me as a kid. Seeing one of my most favorite characters ever from my favorite fictional franchise die right in front of me kinda made me sad. But hey, I'd get my revenge in a few years anyway.
Well, excuse me, princess.
I'm actually kinda surprised this is one of my favorites from Season 1. Zelda vs. Peach is a really solid episode. The analyses are fine, though Wiz calling both of them worthless at the start kinda undermines their characters, and the kitchen joke definitely did not age well. The fight is one of the better animated ones from the first season in my opinion. Some of the hits like Peach hitting the lamb and the bridge collapse feel surprisingly impactful, and the climax is pretty suspenseful with the lamb falling down and hitting Zelda, followed by an amazing final blow with some stellar impact. Many scenes stick out here, my favorite being the slap fight. I just like how the scene gets more and more intense as it goes on. Overall, surprisingly very solid episode for Season 1 standards.
And number 2.
This was the 100th episode celebration, Mario vs. Sonic 2. This episode does the same with both characters' powers and abilities in creative ways against each other. The animation is pretty well done. The voice acting is really good for Sonic. Not so much for Mario, which is kind of a shame, but whatever. And the analyses are extremely enjoyable, as we finally got to see Wiz and Boomstick for the first time, which was absolutely amazing. Finally getting to see these characters which we've known to love for the past nearly 12 years now for the first time was a real treat, and made me appreciate the characters even more. And the climax of the fight is amazing. Them shattering the moon, referencing the box out for Olympic Games, them falling down as the climatic music kicks in full gear, and the final clash when Mario gives Sonic a bloody nose and then Sonic gives it his all into a final spin dash as Mario literally catches it, holds it back, setting it on fire from all the friction before tossing him all the way down and causing a damn nuclear explosion. God, I was full of so much adrenaline when watching this for the first time. Seeing one of my most favorite characters ever get a chance of redemption and actually winning was so satisfying. Of course I still love Sonic, but Mario has always and will always be my number 1. Now the reason that this episode is at number 3 is for 2 glaring reasons. First being how downplayed both characters were. I agree with the result, but the research was not that good. Both characters are at least universal to multiversal levels of power, and having them both be put at like city level calcs was extremely disappointing. And now the second and bigger issue, for me at least, Mario's characterization. People always call Mario a boring and uninteresting character, which is not true in the slightest. I see a lot of similarities to Superman here, as people also call him boring, but he has a lot of character that people just don't realize. Mario is heroic, courageous, charming, and a great brother to Luigi. He always does what he can to help out. He goes through worlds of pure hardship and challenge to stop a giant, monstrous, fire-breathing turtle dragon just to save his girlfriend and doesn't complain when he doesn't get a big reward. Mario isn't boring. He's a beacon of hope for the Mushroom Kingdom and will always do the right thing. But not here! Mario feels straight out of a dorkly bit. He acts like an impatient, arrogant asshole. He doesn't feel like the kind-hearted soul he is in the series, and it's even worse than the Death Race. I'm tired of so many people misinterpreting his character like this. It's been done to death, and something that shouldn't be done in a versus battle like this. Hopefully one day Mario can get another episode where he is treated like the character he is. Even with those 2 issues, I still enjoy this episode, but I just can't ignore how much they piss me off.
Oh no!
For the penultimate spot, we go all the way back to Season 2 for yet another Mario vs. Sonic matchup. I swear, after Bowser vs. Eggman, we better not get another one of these. But Donkey Kong vs. Knuckles is one of the better episodes of this season in my opinion. I'm glad that it's purely focused on comedy. That gives the episode its own personality, and it makes it much more fun to rewatch. The analyses are fine, nothing special, but the animation is amazing. The fight starts out with Knuckles gliding onto Donkey Kong Island and eating one of DK's bananas. Despite how unbelievably cursed it is for Knuckles to be eating a banana without peeling it, I like this setup. It shows Knuckles' arrogance and less than ideal intelligence, and DK's brash and angry nature over having a singular one of his bananas stolen. I love Donkey Kong getting the idea for using the coconut gun from the coconut hitting him in the head Newton style. And I also love the slow-mo of Knucks dodging them. It's just so random and I adore it. And I actually kind of like the "oh no" gag. It's not detrimenting to Knuckles' character, and it's actually pretty funny. I love the part where Knuckles dodges DK's attacks as DK slams the ground, causing it to shake. It really sells Knuckles' superior speed and Donkey Kong's superior strength. And the part where Knuckles creates a hole to drop DK into, only to be knocked into it, was just comedy gold. We have a pretty intense minecart chase before DK gets a hold of Knux, as they come to a dead end. I don't know why, but DK and Knuckles just holding each other in pure fear as they come to the drop makes me laugh every time. It's a nice character moment, and definitely something I can see both characters doing. I like that they try to work together to escape too. Knuckles even breaking the camera was a really neat touch. And as they fall, Donkey Kong pulls a Heihachi and prioritizes killing his opponent over his own survival. I don't know why they bothered with the fake out though, as we already saw Knuckles going fucking splat a few seconds earlier, but whatever. God, I love this episode so much. I love that they're both treated like the chaotic dumbasses they are in their series. My only main issue is how much I hate the DK sprites. They can be especially haunting at points. But still, fantastic episode and fight.
I told you those Gordos can be a pain in the ass!
This is how you do a Mario episode on this show. Both characters feel respected. None are downplayed. The animation is incredible. Both characters actually feel like the characters. It is everything I want out of a Mario Death Battle episode. You may be thinking I'm about to go super in-depth here, but I'm actually planning on giving this episode its own dedicated review, so watch out for that sometime. And there we go. Every Mario Death Battle ranked. It is kind of a shame that so many episodes just have these characters getting done dirty. It honestly kind of sucks for a big fan of Mario like me just to see my favorite characters get disrespected and misrepresented. Real big shame how I don't really like the track record all too much. Hopefully we can get some Mario matchups in the future that give the characters more respect, like Bowser vs. Eggman, Luigi's vs. Pac-Man, and Mario vs. Mickey. But anyways, thanks a lot for watching. I have a few other video projects planned, and apparently next week they're revealing some combatants, so I'll definitely be on that. Alright, cool, see ya I guess. Play Luigi's Mansion 3 on the Nintendo Switch.
I look at this monkey.